Hi everyone. I was having a bit of a play around with making some quizzes within Canvas last night, so I thought I'd just take you through some of what I learned. And I know some people have probably already been using quizzes, but I thought it'd be useful to put something really quick together on how you would go about making a quiz within Canvas. So this is my 10 Spec PE course, and if I go into quizzes, you'll see the 4 quizzes that I put together last night. I've found really quick sort of formative test quizzes to be a really useful way for me to check for student understanding as we progress through a course. But I know some people had used the quiz function within My Big Campus for summative tests as well, and that's fine too. So you might go into quizzes and there'll be no quizzes there. But if you select this Add Quiz option, it will take you to a screen like this. So when I was first looking at it, I couldn't quite work out, well, that's fine, that's how I set up my quiz, but how do I actually put the questions there? And you'll see at the top, these are your settings, and when I select questions, that's where I can set up my questions. So I'll put in a name for the quiz. It might be Specialist PE Revision Quiz. I was putting in some instructions like, please complete the quiz to test your understanding. That probably doesn't need to be there, but I thought it would be. With the quiz type, I was putting them in as practice quizzes because I was using them in a formative way. If you're using it obviously as a summative quiz, then it would be a marked quiz. And if you've set up your mark book with assignment groups or assessment groups, and you can choose which one you want it to be in. So people would probably choose tests if they've set up a test group within their mark book. But just for this, I'm going to say it's another practice quiz for my kids. I want to shuffle the answers around so it doesn't appear the same all the time. I can set a time limit if I want to. If I wanted to set just 10 minutes for this, or if I wanted to set a 45-minute time limit for a lesson, then I could do that as well. I was setting that I wanted them to have multiple attempts within these practice quizzes. If it was a real test, then I probably wouldn't allow multiple attempts. I can say, do I want their latest result if I'm allowing multiple attempts, or their highest, or their average? I just said their highest. And I can say, well, I'm only going to allow them to have 3 attempts, for example, with this practice quiz. I want the students to see their quiz responses, and I also want them to see the correct answer, because this is formative in nature. If it was a real quiz, then a real test, then maybe you wouldn't, but it's up to you how you set that up. I can set a date where they can see the correct answers by, if I don't want them to be able to see them straight away. So if you're doing a test, that might be a good feature, and I can hide them later if I want to as well. I can opt for them to see just one question at a time, or I can opt to have them see all the questions at once and complete the quiz like that. I could require them to have an access code, which might be a good little, feature for making sure that the students are accessing it when you want them to access it. You release the access code, and then everyone sits down to do it. And then this is where much like other assignments, I assign it to people. When is it due? When do I want to make it available from? And to. So that's sort of setting it up like you would set up your other assignments anyway. And you go into questions, and I'm going to want to add a new question. And you can see here that there are many different types of questions that we can choose. So multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blanks, multiple answers, multiple drop downs, matching a number answer, formula question, essay question, kids file, uploading a file, or a text question as well. And I'm just going to choose multiple choice for this, and I'm going to make it worth 2 points. That question's worth 2 points. This is where I type in the question that I'm wanting them to answer. And in this case, I'll say, what is what are the two factors that determine which energy system is the dominant energy system? You'll see here that it tells me where to put the correct option. So we'll go intensity and duration there. We'll go heat, put in some dummy responses, heat and cold, night and day, and energy systems and fuel. Okay, so I've got my four options there, and I'm going to update that question. So you can see that I've got that question is there, and then if I want to add a new question, I simply choose new question, and I'd go through the same process again. I'd say, what type of question do I want it to be? How many points do I want to allocate to that question? What is the question? I would type in here. And of course, if this is how it appears for multiple choice, it would appear slightly different for different types of questions. Correct answer here, other answers there, update question, and then I would add another new question. When I've finished all that, I just click save, and this is all of my information and how I've set it up. And then if I go back into quizzes, you'll see that there's the quiz that I was working on, Specialist PE Revision Quiz. At the moment, it hasn't been published, but I can publish it to students. I can go back in there and set when I want it available for them. So at the moment, these quizzes are just sitting there. I haven't published them to students. They're just sitting there ready for me. When I want to make them available to students, I can. So hopefully that's helped a little bit to get you thinking about quizzes, and obviously some people use them for formative work to get a bit of a feel for where the kids are, and other people will use them in a summative way, and that both are completely fine. And I think there's lots of nice features here that allow us to use them in a summative way, in a really sort of safe and secure way as well. So hope that's helped.